When audiences think about classic family television, few programs are remembered with the same affection as Little House on the Prairie. Premiering in 1974, the series quickly became one of the defining shows of the decade, blending emotional storytelling with themes of perseverance, kindness, hardship, and faith. Inspired by the autobiographical books written by Laura Ingalls Wilder, the show transported viewers to the small frontier community of Walnut Grove, where life was simple in appearance but often emotionally complex beneath the surface. Week after week, families gathered around television sets to watch the Ingalls family navigate poverty, illness, loss, and moral dilemmas with courage and compassion. At the center of the series stood Michael Landon as Charles Ingalls, a loving father whose wisdom and warmth became iconic for an entire generation. Alongside him, Melissa Gilbert brought young Laura to life with energy, humor, and emotional depth. Their chemistry made the family feel authentic rather than scripted. Audiences didn't merely watch the characters, they felt connected to them personally. The series became more than entertainment. It represented comfort during a changing era in American culture. While many television programs focused on crime, glamour, or urban conflict, Little House offered stories rooted in family values and emotional resilience. Yet despite its wholesome image, the series often explored difficult realities that many family programs avoided. That balance between warmth and honesty became the reason the show endured long after its original broadcast ended. Walnut Grove became more than a fictional town. Part of what made Little House on the Prairie so beloved was the emotional connection audiences developed with Walnut Grove itself. The town was more than a setting. It became a symbol of community, tradition, and survival. Every familiar location carried emotional meaning for viewers. The schoolhouse represented education and innocence. The church reflected unity during hardship. Olison's Mercantile brought humor and conflict. The Ingalls cabin symbolized love despite poverty. Over nearly a decade, those locations became as recognizable to audiences as the characters themselves. Unlike many television productions of the time, the show relied heavily on outdoor filming that gave Walnut Grove a believable, lived-in atmosphere. Dusty roads, open fields, wooden buildings, and changing seasons helped create a sense of realism that viewers found comforting. Fans often described the town as a place they wished truly existed. The emotional attachment became so powerful that many viewers felt as though they personally lived alongside the residents. That emotional investment made the series finale particularly shocking years later. Most long-running family shows quietly disappeared after cancellation, leaving sets abandoned or recycled. But Walnut Grove would not receive a gentle farewell. Instead, the town itself became part of one of television history's most unforgettable endings. The destruction of the set stunned audiences because it felt almost personal. Viewers were not simply losing a television show, they were watching a familiar world vanish in front of them. The emotional power of Walnut Grove explains why people still discuss the series decades later. The town represented something larger than nostalgia. It reflected the longing for simpler communities, human connection, and moral clarity in an increasingly complicated world. The explosive finale that shocked television audiences. In 1984, the television movie Little House, The Last Farewell, delivered one of the most dramatic conclusions in television history. Rather than ending with sentimental goodbyes or quiet reflection, the finale featured the literal destruction of Walnut Grove. Within the story, a ruthless land developer attempted to seize control of the town. Refusing to surrender their homes and community, the townspeople made a shocking choice. They destroyed Walnut Grove themselves using dynamite, ensuring no outsider could claim what they loved. The sequence stunned millions of viewers. Buildings audiences had watched for years exploded into rubble before their eyes. The schoolhouse vanished, the church collapsed, the mercantile disappeared in clouds of dust and smoke. For fans expecting a gentle farewell from a beloved family series, the ending felt unexpectedly harsh and emotional. Yet what shocked Hollywood even more was the fact that the destruction was completely real. Michael Landon insisted on demolishing the actual set instead of relying on special effects or miniature models. Landon reportedly believed the town should not remain standing only to be reused for unrelated productions or left to decay abandoned over time. He wanted a definitive ending that carried emotional and symbolic weight. If Walnut Grove's story was over, then it would truly end forever. The decision reflected Landon's strong creative personality and his desire to maintain control over the show's legacy even after cancellation. For many viewers, the explosive finale felt strangely fitting. The destruction symbolized resistance, dignity, and emotional closure. Others felt it contradicted the warmth associated with the series. Either way, the finale guaranteed that Little House on the Prairie would not quietly fade from public memory. Its ending became legendary. Michael Landon's creative control shaped the entire series. Throughout the run of Little House on the Prairie, Michael Landon held extraordinary influence over nearly every aspect of production. Although audiences knew him primarily as Charles Ingalls, Landon's responsibilities extended far beyond acting. He wrote scripts, directed episodes, produced storylines, and shaped the emotional tone of the series. Few television stars of the era exercised such complete creative control over a successful network drama. That control became both a strength and a source of tension behind the scenes. Landon possessed a clear artistic vision for the series and fought aggressively to preserve it. He believed the show should balance emotional sincerity with difficult social themes rather than becoming shallow nostalgia. However, his leadership style sometimes created friction with colleagues who felt excluded from important decisions. Creative disagreements reportedly emerged between Landon and co-creator Ed Friendly during the show's early years, eventually reshaping production dynamics. Still, even critics acknowledged Landon's remarkable storytelling instincts. He understood how to combine emotional vulnerability with mainstream entertainment in ways few television creators could replicate. His fingerprints remained visible in nearly every memorable episode. The emotional sincerity audiences connected with so strongly often came directly from Landon's personal approach to storytelling, making him inseparable from the series' identity and long-term legacy. The series was far darker than many people remember. Modern nostalgia often paints Little House on the Prairie as gentle family entertainment, filled with moral lessons and frontier simplicity. While the series certainly contained warmth and optimism, many viewers forget how boldly it addressed painful social issues rarely explored on family television during the 1970s and early 1980s. Beneath the wholesome image, the show frequently confronted darkness with surprising honesty. One of the most controversial episodes, Sylvia, shocked viewers with its disturbing portrayal of assault, trauma, and violence. The storyline pushed far beyond what audiences expected from a family-oriented drama. Critics and parents were divided. Some praised the show for confronting difficult realities honestly, while others felt the content was too intense for younger viewers. Yet the episode demonstrated the creative risks the series was willing to take. That willingness to explore uncomfortable themes became central to the show's legacy. Unlike many programs that idealized the past, Little House frequently emphasized how difficult frontier life truly was. Characters experienced death, hunger, injustice, and emotional suffering regularly. The series understood that human kindness carries greater meaning when placed against hardship rather than fantasy. This emotional realism allowed the stories to resonate with audiences far beyond simple nostalgia and contributed to the show's remarkable cultural endurance. Why the destruction of Walnut Grove became television mythology. The destruction of Walnut Grove during Little House, The Last Farewell, eventually evolved into one of television's most enduring legends. Viewers who witnessed the finale firsthand rarely forgot the emotional impact of seeing beloved buildings explode on screen. Over time, stories surrounding the episode became increasingly dramatic. Rumors circulated claiming the finale had been banned, censored, or permanently removed from syndication because networks considered it too dark or controversial for daytime audiences. In reality, the finale was never officially banned. However, many stations airing syndicated reruns often preferred lighter standalone episodes more suitable for casual daytime viewing. Emotional episodes involving death, violence, or destruction appeared less frequently. As a result, younger viewers who discovered the series years later sometimes missed the explosive conclusion entirely, adding to the mystery surrounding it. The finale's reputation also grew because of how unusual it felt compared to traditional television endings. Most long-running family dramas conclude with sentimental reunions, emotional speeches, or quiet farewells. Little House instead ended with destruction and resistance. The image of townspeople blowing up their own homes rather than surrendering them carried symbolic power far beyond the plot itself. Some interpreted it as a statement about freedom and dignity. Others saw it as Michael Landon refusing to let Hollywood recycle something deeply personal to him. Michael Landon's death added emotional weight to the legacy. In 1991, only a few years after the end of Little House on the Prairie, the entertainment world received devastating news when Michael Landon announced he had pancreatic cancer. The diagnosis shocked fans who still associated him with strength, warmth, and vitality because of his iconic television roles. Throughout his career on both Little House and Bonanza, Landon had become one of television's most recognizable father figures. As his illness progressed rapidly, many former cast members reflected publicly on the impact he had on their lives. Despite earlier conflicts and personal disappointments, affection for Landon remained strong among those who worked with him. His ability to inspire loyalty, emotion, and admiration endured even after years of complicated relationships behind the scenes. For Melissa Gilbert especially, Landon's illness reopened unresolved emotions connected to their fractured relationship. Their reconciliation before his death carried profound emotional significance, because it allowed both of them to reconnect not as celebrities, but as people who genuinely loved each other despite past hurt. Gilbert later spoke movingly about the experience, describing Landon as someone who shaped her childhood and career forever. Landon died on July 1, 1991, at only 54 years old. His death transformed the legacy of Little House even further, because audiences could no longer separate the show from the man who guided it creatively and emotionally. Watching reruns after his passing felt different for many fans. Charles Ingalls no longer represented only a fictional father on television. He became a reminder of Landon himself, talented, flawed, compassionate, stubborn, and deeply human. His absence added another emotional layer to a series already built around themes of family, mortality, and remembrance. Why Little House on the Prairie still matters today, more than 40 years after its original success, Little House on the Prairie continues to resonate with audiences across generations because its emotional core remains timeless. The show was never simply about frontier life or historical nostalgia. It explored universal struggles that still feel relevant today: financial hardship, family conflict, loneliness, prejudice, forgiveness, and the search for dignity during difficult times. Those themes transcend the historical setting and continue connecting with modern viewers emotionally. The series also succeeded because it embraced complexity rather than easy sentimentality. Although remembered as wholesome entertainment, Little House consistently acknowledged that life could be painful, unfair, and emotionally messy. Characters made mistakes, families argued, good people sometimes failed, yet the stories still emphasized resilience, compassion, and hope without pretending suffering did not exist. That honesty gave the show unusual emotional depth for network television of its era. The explosive destruction of Walnut Grove ultimately became the perfect symbol for the show's legacy. It was dramatic, emotional, controversial, and unforgettable, much like the series itself. Some viewers considered the ending excessive for a family drama, while others believed it represented the only truly fitting farewell for a town audiences loved so deeply. Either way, people continue discussing it decades later, proving the finale achieved exactly what Michael Landon intended. It ensured the story would never quietly disappear. Television history is filled with successful programs that faded from memory shortly after ending. Little House on the Prairie did the opposite. Its emotional honesty, memorable characters, and fearless storytelling allowed it to survive long after the prairie itself was blown to pieces. That enduring cultural impact is the clearest proof that the show truly mattered. Top of form, bottom of form.